Hi, friends. I want to talk a little bit about this feeling of being overwhelmed in your life and kind of emotionally on E, and how that can become a really good excuse to not show up to your journey. And I'm not discounting the fact that people may feel overwhelmed or maybe you're just completely exhausted, because there's lots of circumstances in our lives that totally 100% contribute to that. But I feel like it always loops back to your filter. It always goes back to what is on loop in your brain and what thoughts are you giving energy to, because we all have like thoughts that we have zero control over, but we choose which thoughts we're going to feed and groom and water and give attention to, and which thoughts we're going to say, this doesn't serve me and it doesn't feel good. And it's not a matter of like ignoring certain things. I'm a huge believer in feeling your feels and allowing yourself to process stuff, giving yourself space to deal with things. But if you have been stuck in the same chapter, season, negative self-talk on loop, then it's time to do something different. It's time to intentionally change your mindset. It's time to make a pivot. And that could be super scary and really overwhelming. And if you're already in this place of feeling emotionally exhausted and overwhelmed, that feels like monumental. So if that's where you're at, this is for you, okay? I want you to lean into this 90-day agreement with us. I mean, I don't know how many days there are left now, like 70 or something. I want you to lean into it. And instead of choosing something that feels really emotional, I want you to choose something that's neutral, totally neutral, like water or taking a shower every day. And you might roll your eyes and you're like, that's stupid. But if you're really in this place of struggle bus mental health, like those things can be the first things we gaff, right? Like we don't drink enough water, we don't get enough sleep, we are not taking proper care of ourselves. I've been there, I've lived it, I know it. So choose something that's neutral, that really needs to happen every single day, and that you can unattach judgment and shame from and just be like, this is my thing. I'm going to commit to drinking so many ounces of water. If you're not sure how much water would be a great goal, will you take your current body weight, not what's on your driver's license, not your goal weight, your current body weight, you divide that in half, and that amount in ounces is a really great kind of baseline. If you live somewhere sweaty, then maybe you should drink some more water, okay? If you're breastfeeding or growing a human, then yes, again, drink more water. Everyone's different, but I just think that's a really great baseline. So if that's where you're at, you're in this place of overwhelm and I'm just super tired and I'm so emotionally drained, I can't commit to this. You're putting way too much pressure on yourself. First of all, take a chill pill, sis, okay? And commit to this one thing that's kind of neutral. Because what we do when we commit to something that's neutral, that we're not emotionally attached to, it becomes easier to show up to. You don't have to have this whole internal dialogue around, oh, I didn't do this, so here's more proof of blah, 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 or you psych yourself up. Like, it's just a neutral thing. And for some of us, if you can kind of adapt that mindset with your movement, that you're no longer showing up to your workout because you're here to punish yourself or to change your body, but instead, if you can frame it as this is a form of self-care, and you can unattach yourself from the outcome, and you can unattach yourself from the need for it to look a certain way or to follow a certain calendar, total. That's totally where I'm at right now. I started 4 weeks for everybody. I was sick. And then I pulled a muscle. And so I'm over here with my pet fly, apparently, just struggle busted, man. And I went into a spiral. I got super frustrated. I got really discouraged. I got mad because I still want my journey to look a certain way. I like to follow a calendar. I like to have the days checked off. And so this is something that I had to tell myself today. What the things I tell you are the things I need to hear half of the time, friends. And I had to be like, okay, you can still hold space for your workout, for that self-care, without having it look that way. Like, I couldn't move my body today the way I wanted to. And so I could play stupid games and win stupid prizes, or I could honor where I'm at, and I could still preserve that time that I already have, like, on my schedule. I get on the Zoom every single day, and then I could show up in a different way. So for me, that's what I did. I got on Zoom. We had some truth talk. I got called out by Brianna about my overuse of the word fine, and which, P.S., it's okay if it's not fine. It doesn't have to be fine. It's really okay. And then they all worked out, and instead of being angry and irritated and like consumed with the fact that I'm behind, I did some mindset work and I journaled through some stuff that I've been needing to do. And I looked at my vision board and I reminded myself of all the ways that I am grateful I get to show up. So maybe that's where you're at. Maybe you're attaching way too much, way too much seriousness to your journey. It doesn't need to look like anyone else's. I am going to put it on my freaking gravestone. I'm going to be a broken record because I believe that so strongly. And I think the reason I feel like it's so important to share that is because for so long, I lived in a comparison loop. And I felt like if my journey wasn't unfolding at the same rate as someone else's, or if it didn't look like that girl over there on the internet, then I wasn't getting results. But this isn't always about the physical transformation. I'm a believer that if you do follow the program, if you do eat like you love yourself, if you get enough rest, if you find enough play and fun, and you get sleep and water, you're gonna have results. It's physically impossible for you to not have some kind of results. If you're not doing all those things, well then don't come at me, bro. But at the end of the day, if instead you can shift your focus from I'm showing up to punish myself, or it has to look a certain way, to I am choosing to honor where I'm at today and to reassess and to readjust and to love myself as I am and to still take the action and put out the effort, your results that you really want, that maybe you've been tight-fisting and you've been frustrated that you're not getting, if you can kind of surrender them a little bit and instead fall in love with who you're becoming, you get those results as a back-end benefit, but you fall in love with who you're becoming. So if you are overwhelmed, if you are overtired, if you're just emotionally drained, you're like, I can't commit to another thing, that's bullshit, because you're committed to the mantra in your head. You're committed to this is too hard and I'm sucking and I'm never going to get my stuff together. You're committed to that. You're giving space and time and energy to that. That doesn't serve you. That will never, ever, ever motivate you to show up. It will never help you become that next level version of yourself. Nobody goes to a gym to get punched by a trainer. That's not going to inspire you. So stop having that same kind of mindset where it's do or die, or I have to get my shit together. You just need to begin. And you need to make a decision, preferably one that's small and attainable, that you can find those wins. You can collect those wins every single day, and then you can stack them, okay? You can habit stack, you can building block your way there. And before you know it, you're an entirely different version of yourself. That's what happened with me. Entirely different version of myself. And I started with really unhealthy, not positive goals. I was here for punishment. I ate like an asshole, so I had to work it off. I didn't like who I was, so I was going to change, dang it. It was going to be hard, but I was worth it. Those things, that's not motivating, and that's not how you have a long-term transformation. We are not here for a 21-day thing. We are here for inside-out love and growth and next level you, and you're worth that effort. So if you're telling yourself that lie right now, I want you to hear my voice in your head and be like, this is true. I can commit to one thing. It doesn't have to be huge. Make it small. Make it so small that there's no way you cannot do it. And maybe it's simply you're going to make your bed when you get out of it, or you're going to take your shower. You get to pick it. You get to collect your wins. You are your best hype girl. So start hyping yourself up. Stop tearing yourself down all the time, because it will never serve you. It will never ever serve you. And I want you to win. I want you to remind yourself that you're capable of this. And there's no reason why you can't become that next level version of yourself. It's never overnight. It's never overnight. How many years did it take to get to where you are? Well, guess what, sister? You got to climb out of the hole. You got to come up over the hill. It's going to take time. It's going to take consistent action. It's going to take daily choices. And it's not all or nothing. It's the consistency that compounds, my friend. Okay? So do the thing today. Stop talking yourself out of it. If you have a negative highlight reel, you need to purge it on paper and set that shit on fire. Or you need to figure out some way that when it comes in, you're going to remind yourself of something else. This is literally what I did when I started. I suck at this. This is taking too long. Sarah, I'm really proud of you. You did it. You did good today. It's just those teeny tiny shifts that feel super stupid. And this is ridiculous. I feel so silly saying these things, but I'm telling you, it's what worked for me, and I know it can work for you. So take the action. Do the thing. It doesn't need to be perfect in order for it to count, right? Right. So tell us how you win today. I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to cheer you on. If I'm in your inbox, message me back. Otherwise, drop a comment in here, look alive. If you have someone in your life that needs this, invite them. Invite them. I was thinking about this last night. Like, this changed my whole life. And sometimes that sounds really dramatic, but it's not. It did. It changed my whole life. And when you change a mom's life, you change a family's life. And when you change a family's life, that's how you actually change a freaking generation, you guys. This is not just about how flat your abs are or how big your thigh gap is.